Hello, this is just a brief recap of Assignment 1 so that you will have a little bit more general knowledge to understand about these complex terms that we are learning. I would say for the most part, everyone did exceptionally well. This is difficult. The first assignment in any class is always difficult because you're not sure of the expectations and you feel some trepidation about answering the questions, whether you are doing it right or not. So there's just a couple of areas where people had a little bit of concern. So I wanted to go over those to help you as we move forward in this class. As you see, most people would put the lesson title, the objective, and their learners. A lot of people did include their web link, which I think is excellent, and I will incorporate that in the future as an item to include. A lot of people did fairly well with the e-learning types, but there is a little bit of difference between the last two types. The informed type is pretty straightforward. Everyone understands that. That would be a module or a training where they're just trying to tell you about the history of a particular item. But the near transfer and the far transfer make it a little bit different. Near transfer is when you are trying to develop a training that's going to help someone understand how to do something, how to complete an expense form, how to fill out a travel request, how to make charts in Excel. But the far transfer has to do with a learning theory, and it has to do with how the learner can take in the knowledge you present, but then they can apply that specific knowledge to very non-specific and often unrelated tasks to come up with an answer. So you see I've put some information here and also a further definition right here to show you the differences between near and far transfer. The other part was the part about architecture, and everyone was really good with this. The guided discovery doesn't have a lot of information in it in the book. One thing that you may not be aware of is that there is a glossary at the end of your book. So if you look on page 460, you will see what they give a much better description of what this guided discovery is than what is in chapter 1. So I just wanted you to have this. And then when we get down to the promises, you can see that a lot of people did really great with this. One of the things that was a little tricky, and there again, there was not a lot of information in the chapter, but there is more, and there isn't even a definition, there isn't even a definition of this one in the glossary, so it makes it a little tough. It's a little confusing. This is when you have customization, this is when you allow the learner to have total control about how they navigate through the training. So you may want them to go step by step, but if you have it customized to each individual learner, they may want to jump ahead and go ahead and take the assessment without going through the steps. A good way to think about this is if any of you ever had to do any training at work, which most of us do, we have annual required trainings we have to do. Some of them are very rigid and you have no customization. You have to sit and listen to the recorded videos before you can take the assessment. If it was customized, the learner, he or herself, could just click and go straight to the assessment without listening to the video. So that's a little clarification on that. And the last thing, you'll see I put some information about pitfalls that you may have in your e-learning. Obviously, we knew too much of anything is not good, just like not enough of some things is bad. Your major intent is to make sure that your learner is engaged and your learner is learning. Something else that happens and didn't happen much in any of the ones that you presented for your assignment, sometimes they get so caught up in the bells and whistles of making a presentation they lose sight of the goal. Discovery learning is another one of those tough concepts that they didn't talk about a lot in the book. It was very glossed over, but there again, if you see right here, if you go to the glossary on page 456, they have a definition of what it is, and they do not feel that it is very conducive to effective e-learning. But discovery learning is truly a technique that is based on learning theorists and some psychologists, Piaget, Bruner, and Pepper. And they say that this is a way, it's a constructivist approach to education, which means the learner is going to construct their knowledge. They are going to discover facts and build the knowledge that they think is the best for them. So this is just a quick overview of assignment 1, just to give you a little bit of reassurance that everyone did well and everyone seemed to really grasp what we need to do. And always, if you have any questions, you need any help, you have any comments, you can email me, you can text me, you can call, and we will discuss it. And I'm always open to talking about anything you want to talk about. So I appreciate it, and thank you.